my name's Emma Marshall and this is a video for my Level 3 in Forest School Leadership Qualification. Today I'm going to talk about the siting and management of a safe campfire. So I'm in my Forest School site and I am in our fire circle. So our fire circle has been in situ as a permanent fire site for 5 years now. So it is well used. You can see from the ground in the fire circle, in the fire pit, that it is well scorched and there has been plenty of fires used here. So it is a permanent fire site that we can't completely leave no trace. The earth is damaged here and it's been made the decision in our forest school 5 years ago to make this permanent fire pit site so that fires will be lit here and wouldn't be lit anywhere else in the forest. So even though this small patch of earth is damaged, no other place in the forest is used for fires. The weather's good today. It is not too windy, it is not too warm, it's not wet, it is not too hot that the fire will be dangerous, so it's the perfect day for lighting a campfire. So I've got everything that I need ready for me to go. I've got all my safety equipment. I've got my burns kit, I've got my fire blanket, I've got my bucket of water. So pour that in. So this is a big bucket of water for the immediate treatment of burns. There we go, so that's ready to go. I've got my fire gloves, I've got my timber and I've got my striker ready to go. I've also got my kneeling mat next to the fire. When we use fires in forest school we have kneeling mats for the children as well, so that they know where to sit at a safe distance. It helps them to sit in an appropriate place next to the fire, and obviously depending on the direction of the wind and the smoke we'll move those round so that they're in the right position for the children. I've got 2 kneeling mats, one on either side of me, the idea being that those are 2 spots for 2 children at the fire, and there shouldn't be, if you haven't got a kneeling mat, there's no other space around the fire that you shouldn't be approaching the fire pit. The entrance to our fire circle is actually behind the camera, so you can't see that on camera, and the emergency exit is behind me here, and all of that, including where the safety equipment should be situated, is all detailed in my site plan, so that every time the forest is used for fire, everybody knows where everything will be situated so that we can keep everybody as safe as possible. When we use a fire, the forest school leader who's in charge of the fire that day would never leave the fire circle. We'd be here keeping, managing and attending the fire at all times. So the fire should never ever be left unattended. Okay, had a little bit of an interruption there. I am in the respect position, which I'll stay in for the whole time that I am attending the fire, and the children would as well, and that means that we can jump up and move in the event of an emergency and that we need to move out and use the emergency exit of the fire circle quickly. I am wearing long trousers and a long sleeve top today, and that kind of keeps you a bit safer when you're using the fire as well, so children should be dressed appropriately by the kit list. So we are ready to light the fire. In the fire pit I have put 4 logs and then 4 small pieces of wood across them, almost in a waffle shape, and that allows lots of air to come through. When we're lighting a fire, we have to think about meeting the needs, all 3 needs of the fire triangle in order for a fire to light. The first one is fuel. So we've got our kindling and timber. Our kindling, which helps the fire to start, and then our timber, which keeps it going. So that's the fuel for our fire. I've got a varying size of sticks. I've got some small sticks. All of these I found on the forest floor. I've got some medium thickness of sticks. And I've got some thicker sticks as well, which are about the thickness of my thumb. I've collected all of my timber, so it's all sat next to me ready before I start lighting the fire, so that I don't have to leave it unattended and leave the fire circle for any reason. I have everything that I need right here. We've got our fuel, so that's ready, and then our oxygen comes through the channels between the wood. Obviously there's oxygen in the air, but you want to help keep the oxygen flowing through the fire to help it stay alight. And the third element of the fire triangle is heat, and heat is created by our spark. So we're using our fire striker to light the fire. The spark gives the heat, and combined with the other 2 elements of the fire triangle starts the fire. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to start the fire, and then I'm going to add my timber bit by bit to help the fire establish. And remember that I'm not going to be lighting a huge fire. It is only small inside our fire pit. It's only a small area. We want to be lighting a campfire, not a bonfire. So I'm just going to put some small sticks on top. I'm using cotton wool today as my fire lighter. That's our kindling on the top. So you can see the fire starting there. Started some smoke. Smoke's blowing away from me, which is perfect. We don't want to smother the fire as we go, so it's really important that we very, very gradually add the sticks onto it, because we don't want to smother the fire. Now move back slightly now that the fire is starting to go. I can see the flame starting to get a little bit bigger. That's a good sign. So I'm just going to get some of my slightly bigger sticks ready. Now that the flames have reached the top, I'm just going to add a couple more sticks. But I want us to add them in an almost kind of teepee-like formation. You don't want to leave it too long to add the sticks, because if you leave it too long, the fuel in the small amount of kindling sticks that you've used starts to be used up and the fire will start to die down, which isn't really what we want at this point. So I've just added a little teepee of my medium-sized sticks, and I'm just going to wait a minute just to see if they take light for me. More. So we're still using the medium-sized sticks. So only a very small fire. So we'll start to pop a few little bits on there. Once these sticks have started to burn, you can see now that I'm not really going to easily smother the fire. There is a nice amount of flame there. Once those sticks start to take light, then that's the fire kind of established really, and then it will burn quite happily for quite a period of time while I add on some larger sticks just to keep adding the fuel to keep that fire triangle complete and keep it burning. Okay, so that's the fire established. It is burning away nicely, so I'm just going to put my glove on because the flames are getting a little bit bigger now, so I'm just going to put my glove on and add some of these bigger sticks. So I'm just going to add 3 then. Once we're at this point and the fire is burning away nicely, that's really the fire established. And if you were going to toast things on the fire, if you were going to cook, this would now be the perfect time to do it, because we're at the point now where the fire is established and we're really just maintaining the fire. We don't really want the fire to be any bigger than it is, so I'm just going to keep adding logs when I see that the fuel is starting to burn low. And now it's at the perfect point where we're going to toast marshmallows or toast apples or cook on it. This would be the perfect time. I don't want the fire to be too big, because we obviously don't want to risk jumping embers into other parts of the forest and causing a secondary fire. So we want to be really super safe, but at the same time we want the fire to be completely extinguished and out by the end of the forest school session. And for us, our forest school session is only 3 hours, so really we don't want the fire to be too big. Our fire today is only very small. You have to remember as well, when you have a fire pit like this that's surrounded by rocks as an edge, the rocks can also get very hot. They're obviously not flammable, but they can get very hot. It's really important for children to watch their fingers and watch out of their whole body really when they're around the fire. fire now been burning for 10 minutes. So I haven't added any more fuel for a while because really at this point I want the fire to die down and I want to break the fire triangle in order to let the fire go out. So it's already still really hot and there's obviously lots of oxygen. So the best way that I can do that is by stopping adding fuel. And by adding no more fuel, the fire starts to burn through the fuel that's in the fire, and once it runs out, the flames will stop and the fire will start to die down. So that's where I am now. I've let the fire burn for as long as I want it to. If we were coming towards the end of the session, I would stop adding any more fuel and I would just let the fire burn through all the fuel that is there. So that's where we are now. We can see the flames are starting to get a little bit smaller and lots of the fuel is starting to turn white. And actually I can feel a few raindrops, which is actually perfect timing for helping us put out the fire. So I'm going to leave the fire for, I'm going to stay with the fire but let it continue burning just until all the fuel subsides, and then once we're at the point where it's all kind of white and ashy, it'll still be hot and there might still be some glowing embers, but at that point we can start to safely extinguish the fire.